Hello, scholars. This week, we've been exploring cells. Today, we'll explain just exactly what cells are, and we'll extend our thinking by comparing and contrasting different types of cells. Cells are the basic unit of life. We will be watching several videos that explain different parts or structures of cells and what their functions are. We're going to start today by looking at the questions we need to answer while watching our videos. So let's open our student journal, our student workbook. Scroll down. So we're going to try to answer these questions. What is a cell? Are all cells the same? And what is one cool thing you learned about cells today? Later, we're going to fill out these two parts. Let's go back. So let's go watch our first video. So let's log into BrainPop. I'm already logged in, but you may need to log in. Remember, you can find a login code here, Richmond Public Schools 1, and for me to use. So let's watch this video about cells.
Hey, I need one of those 8x2 pieces.
Make it big.
No, 8x2. 8 dots long and 2 dots wide. Dear Tim and Moby, my sister said that my body is made of cells. Is that true? And what are cells anyway?
What are cells
From
anyway?
Jenny. Well, your sister is right. You are made of cells. She's made of cells too. In fact, all living things are made of one or more cells.
Awesome.
If you could look at yourself through a microscope, you could see that you're divided into millions of tiny sections. These sections are called cells, and they're the basic unit of life. They come in lots of types and live with other cells like them in groups called tissues. When two or more tissues combine, they form organs, like the heart and brain. Every single part of your body is really millions of cells working together.
Wow, that's cool.
Each cell is basically a sac of jelly-like fluid called cytoplasm. The sac surrounding it is called the cell membrane. It lets good stuff in and keeps bad stuff out.
That's cool.
Floating around in the cytoplasm are organelles. Just like the body has organs for different functions, the cell has organelles for all its functions. Like mitochondria extract energy from nutrients, and ribosomes create proteins, molecules used to build pretty much everything in the body. Then there's the nucleus, which is kind of like the cell's brain. It's a membrane pouch that holds an organism's genetic material, the biological instructions passed down from its parents. These instructions are encoded in a substance called DNA. In plant and animal cells, DNA is contained in a nucleus. We call these kinds of cells eukaryotic. The other type of cell, prokaryotic, has no nucleus. Genetic information in prokaryotic cells just sort of floats free in the cytoplasm. Most prokaryotes are single-celled bacteria, like Lactobacillus acidophilus, which is used to make yogurt.
It's really cool that all living things are made of cells, from flowers and grass to frogs, lizards, dogs, and even us people all have cells. Let's see if we can learn some more in this next video. Let's take a look at a different video to learn about the structures or parts of a cell. Remember, they're called organelles. So let's pull up the BrainPop. This will give us the information we need to fill out this chart. I'm going to be looking for cell membrane, nucleus, mitochondria, vacuole, and also some of these other parts that are not mentioned here.
Dear Tim and Moby, I need to know all of the parts of an animal cell. Help. From Gene. We're in the right place for this one. Each cell is like a little factory that carries out the daily activities of energy consumption, protein production, and waste management.
Cool.
A flexible cell membrane forms the outer layer of a cell. It regulates the chemical balance of the cell by deciding what gets in and what stays out.
I remember that from the first video.
The nucleus is like a command center for that cell. It's the boss that hands out orders to the other cell parts. The nucleus is guided by the cell's DNA, which contains all of your body's instructions for life. Inside the cell membrane, there's a mixture of chemicals and water that's called cytoplasm. Cytoplasm flows around the cell, carrying structures called organelles. The organelles have different jobs. Mitochondria break down food and release energy. Vacuoles and vesicles are storage organelles that hang on to water, waste products, and food until they're needed. So, just like a factory, cells take in materials and send out products. You didn't check to see if the delivery truck had pulled up already, did you?
Oh, Tim and Moby, so funny. I cut out some of the videos because we don't need to know all of it for 5th grade. You can watch the whole video and a couple other videos in this document. Click the links, remember to log in. And you can also pause and rewind to fill out your workbook. We watched some videos about what a cell is and what some structures of the cell are. Now, we are going to look at the difference between a plant and an animal cell. We're going to watch another BrainPop video. Remember, I might cut some parts out that are not needed for 5th grade. Go to your workbook and make sure that you're recording in here the difference between plant and animal cells. They'll go through it. I wonder if these are plant and animal cells. Let's find out.
Dear Tim and Moby, how are cells different? From Stephen. Plant and animal cells are both eukaryotic. Plant and animal cells are pretty similar inside, but there are two major differences. Plant cells can make their own food, and animal cells can't.
Cool.
Plant cells' green color comes from green organelles called chloroplasts. Chloroplasts trap light energy and enable plants to conduct photosynthesis. Animal cells are surrounded with a flexible cell membrane. Plant cells have a membrane too, but outside of that, they protect themselves with a stiff outer wall.
Oh.
Both plant cells and animal cells work in teams. When you take a tiny piece of a plant, there are tons of cells clustered together in that piece, working together. Same goes for a piece of an animal.
Nice.
I'm not saying that. Oh, fine. Cells team up and work together, just like Moby and me.
Aww. That was nice. Remember, if you want to watch the whole video, you can click the link and watch all of it. There's one last activity that you can complete. It's the gizmos activity that we looked at yesterday. If you have time, you can go to the gizmo and follow along in the workbook with the draw it, comparing, and thinking about the vocabulary words in these different types of cells. Okay, today we explained a lot about cells. Let's recap. Cells are the basic unit of life. All living things are made up of cells put together. And inside of cells, they're put together by things called organelles. Remember, the nucleus is the part that controls the cell. The mitochondria convert energy, or food, into energy. The cytoplasm is the jelly that holds it all together. And finally, vacuoles are the storage units that hold water and food for all types of cells. We also extended our thoughts and compared and contrasted animal and plant cells. Like I said before, plant cells have cell walls and animal cells do not. Plant cells also have those chloroplasts that animal cells don't have. Man, we really covered a lot today. I hope that you stay safe, stay awesome, and learn something new.